College softball started 2 weeks ago, and teams battling left and right. In just the second week of the season, upsets have started rolling in. I'm here with Emmanuel, Tobe, and Evan Piercy to discuss how and why teams have either dropped the ball or risen to the occasion. So guys, Boston upset two-time national championship, the Oklahoma Sooners, and then the Sooners went on to lose to Arizona. What does this mean for the Sooners, guys?
Look, to quote Aaron Rodgers, RELAX. Relax. This team is 9-2. They only lost one senior in Macy Hatfield. They're bringing back a strong core led by Paige Lowry, who's 16-3 with a 1.53 ERA last year. Paige Parker, 26-5 with a 1.43 ERA. This team is poised and ready to go. Every team wants to come out and beat them. It's Oklahoma. It's the number one team in the country, defending national championships for back-to-back years. Everyone's getting their best shot. They'll be fine.
I agree that you have to relax, but there's one thing that you have to think about, and that's kind of the mental mindset of going in. Right now, you're going for your three-peat. They have 8 of their returning 9 starters, so they all have that mindset of, we want to go in, we want to win again. And you really have to think about, sometimes for teams, like losing, it kind of gets into their head. So, there's a question of, these 2 losses, is it good for them? Is it bad for them?
It's too early to tell. I mean, the season you have a long season.
They'll
be fine.
I'm not saying that they're going to struggle or anything like that, but I'm just saying it's something that to keep your mind out for the mindset of these players as well.
Look, coming in, you have 8 of the 9 returning starters, like you said. To get beat early shows that you are beatable, that you still need to come and work hard. It's not going to be handed to you. The national championship isn't going to be handed to you. You have other teams like Florida, Washington, UCLA that are up there, and they're going to be coming for you.
They're going to be coming for you, so
Let's
you have
move on
to
from
think
that
about
number 1 team, former number 1 team, to the number 2 team also facing an upset. Florida lost to Louisiana Lafayette. Those Raging Cajuns at number 18.
Raging Cajuns.
What was the magic trick for Louisiana Lafayette?
So when you're playing an offensive team like Florida that gave 53 home runs last year, pitching is really important. And what they did that third game was they outpitched them. They also had very little mistakes, very little errors. This was the first game of the series that they had no errors, but their pitching was spot on. I mean, look at what Ellison Summer did, as well as she was clutch.
Summer Ellison, yeah. I mean, she pitched all 11 innings of the game, turned around 4 days later and threw no hitter. She is a beast when it comes to pitching. Yeah. And in the game against Florida, she scattered 8 hits, but she scattered 3 hits after the 3rd inning. No more than 3 hits. Not a single Florida Gator did not reach second base until the 10th inning.
And you also have to look at the offense of how Florida was playing before this game. To me, they just looked kind of off in the 3rd game. I mean, they scored 9 runs game 2. They just looked off,
Look,
right.
The Raging Cajuns seized the opportunity. It was there. Florida came in, like Manny said, they'd scored a lot, 9 runs in their previous game. They scored 13 in the 2 games prior combined. Yeah. The team's tired. They
that
capitalized.
Third and final game
Raging Cajuns came
in.
They got the big home run to walk it off.
Let's move on from that number 2 team to now the current number 1 team, Washington, sitting pretty up there. Anyone got to take them down, Evan?
I got to go their conference rival, UCLA. I mean, this team is also undefeated. It's currently sitting at 15-0, and they're led by Kylie Perez, who has a .432 batting average right now, and then redshirt sophomore Rachel Garcia, who's 6-0 with a .54 ERA in 15 games this season.
Impressive.
They have the pitching, they have offense, and honestly, they have a big 3-game series coming up in the end of April. Mm-hmm. And if both teams currently continue that trend, it's going to be a big matchup, and it's ultimately going to decide who is number 1 in the country. And I see Washington.
To me, I look at the team that we just talked about, Florida. And if you look at how competitive and how good they were last year, and then just kind of compare it to, they have a lot of their starters back. They have a strong, high-powered offense. To me, you just look at Florida. I just don't see how Washington's going to get.
I see Florida.
Strength of schedule.
I've got to jump in. We got to end it.
Oh, no.
That's plenty of time.
I was getting into it.
Yeah, This is good stuff. Love it. 3 strikes. We're out. But we got some college basketball coming up next. Thanks for joining us, guys.